No, I didn't. Just, I can print it here, it's okay. We're all good?
She's ready to go.
Okay. Okay. So, quick refresher here. What's a mortgage? Remember? Loan that you get for a house. Thank you. Loan you get for a house. Now, I don't know if we ever said this. I think somewhere along the line I missed this statement, but this is a rule. It says you shouldn't spend more than about 2.5 times your annual income on a house. So if you make $100,000 a year, 2.5 times that, you should be spending about $250,000 on a house. And when we looked the other day, right, hard to find a very big home in Winnipeg for less than $250,000. Probably hard to find a very big home in Dauphin for less than $250,000. Right? So it's becoming more and more challenging for people to buy homes. The stats are showing there's more and more younger people living with their parents longer and longer. We parents don't want that. You guys want to live with your mom and dad so you're 35? No, of course not. Nobody. I sure don't want to live with my parents. Anyway, that's for sure. All right, so mortgage is a loan that the bank gives you to buy a house. What's collateral? Well, why have we talked about this word? Do you remember what the word collateral means? It's a tough word, eh? You don't hear it too often. Collateral is something that they take to make you pay it back. Like if Blue Eye said, Mr. Bennett, I need to borrow a pencil or a calculator. I said, okay, I need some collateral. I take your shoe. And you're not leaving without your shoe. And then I would get my pencil back. Okay? That's in case you default on the loan. Default means to not pay it back. Okay? Another way to reduce the risk to the bank is to insist on a down payment. Mr. Stashko has a son, banker Steve. He gives out loans to people. Okay? And insists on down payments. We've discovered that the lowest percent is 5%, although they would prefer it a little bit higher. Okay? 5% is the absolute bare minimum. Okay? 5%. Any down payment less than 20% costs you more. You have to buy what's called mortgage insurance. Okay? So you have to buy more insurance to make sure that you're paying your loan off. Or if you don't, that the bank gets their money, right? So the short version of all this is, if you're buying a house, you have to have a big sum of money, a big pot of money to help you buy it to start with. Is that better, everybody? You're welcome. Okay, and this is what we did on Monday, right? We did the converting to decimals. Everybody remember doing that? You guys are all wizards at it now? Okay? Okay, and then how do we find the down payment? You multiply. So for here, if we have a $120,000 house, you take that 120 times by 5% or 0.05, you get your $6,000. That's your down payment. So you got to have $6,000 in the bank to start buying. And then what did we do here? What process? What mathematical operation? We subtracted, right? That's the down payment. This is how much you borrow. $114,000 is how much you borrow. Okay? I asked Peyton on Monday how long she thought it would take to pay off a house. You were surprised, weren't you? I can tell by looking at your face. Remember the number? How many years? Let's see if Peyton knows. She put it in there.
25.
You're right. How'd you know that? So you already know. 25 years. You're right. Seems like a long time, doesn't it? Yeah. It's true. Most people, 25 years. What do they call that time period? Ooh, I don't think this is a word that we came up with, right? This is new for you guys. Amortization period. Highlight that one away. Okay, once you've paid the down payment, you have to pay monthly over the amortization period. The amortization period is fancy words for how long it takes to pay off. The 25 years it takes off. It's how long it takes to pay off. How long to pay off. Typically, 25 years. Many people opt to pay it off earlier. Why do a lot of people try to pay it off earlier? What do you think? For fun? big reason. To pay it off earlier means you save a lot of money in the long run. Okay? It costs you less over the whole cost of the mortgage. In large centers like Toronto, Vancouver, Mr. Stafford and I were talking about announcements. Housing's more expensive, like crazy expensive, like $1 million for a house. Just a regular house. Right? It can be 30 to 40 years to pay off. Some people just like, basically they're paying rent to the bank. What it boils down to. The length of time and the amount to pay is dependent on the interest rate. What is the interest rate? That's where the banks get you. The interest rate is what the bank charges to borrow money. Remember I said, I think it was you guys, banks are in the business of lending you money. They're there to make money. How do they make money? They charge you to borrow their money. Okay? Right now, interest rates are really low. Back when I was 20 years old, interest rates were really crazy high. Josh will probably remember those days too.
I could get HCIC at 10% back in the day.
Even higher.
I can't remember anything higher than 10%.
I worked, you guys know where Love Pearson is in town? You know where that is? We get driver's licenses, some of that. They also do investments there. So in the town I grew up in, they have a Love Pearson there. It's called Young Small. Just their own double names, right? My job one summer, the summer of 1987, my job was to take their records of people's investments, which were basically in a scribbler, literally, and to put them into this brand new computer that they bought. That was my job all day, just doing this. And there was investments that were like 14, 16, 18% RRSPs. And I remember thinking, holy moly.
Now it's like 1.5.
Yeah.
Maybe 2%.
Yeah, like it was just crazy. Okay? But the flip side was that if you were paying a mortgage, it cost you a lot of money. Okay, so you might say, Mr. Bennett, what are current interest rates? Go ahead. What do we say? No? As of just the other day, here are some current interest rates. So here we go. And it depends on a bunch of things, but you can see it's anywhere from, it's a bit small. It's anywhere from about 1.7 to 2.94, depending on how long you want to lock it in for. Okay, so interest rates are right now historically very low. It's a good time to be borrowing money. However, houses are really expensive. So if houses stay expensive and interest rates go up, there's a lot of people in a lot of trouble, isn't there, Mr. Touchman?
Or in Detroit, where the interest rates were fine, but the house values went down.
Right. Yes.
Still owed on the higher.
On the exactly. Okay. Do you want to find that table there and hang that up for me?
Yeah, for
Okay. So we use now when you go to the bank. Okay. We had a bit of an argument yesterday with a student. She's like, "Why do I need to know this? When I go to the bank, they're going to tell it to me." That is true. You have to understand what's going on. You got to understand the words. They're not teachers. They're not there to teach you. They're there to take your money, to sell you. So you got to understand a little bit. Okay? We don't use amortization tables anymore, but we use them in school just to teach. Okay? And it's a good sort of using a table skill as well. Okay? You're going to get this, I'll put it online as well and change. Okay? So this is called an amortization table. Okay? And it shows how much it costs per $1,000. This shows the payment for each $1,000 that you borrow. Okay? So notice a couple things here. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Okay? We're going to be spending the majority of our time out here at 25 years. Hardly anyone uses 5 or 10 years as amortization periods. Okay? Here are the interest rates. Your table has even more, doesn't it? It's just a bigger one. Includes more interest rates, but I didn't just show them all to you up here. Okay, so notice a couple things. The longer it takes to pay off, the less you pay per month. What's this amount right here? $17.31. This one is only $4. Why is it cost less way out here at 25 years compared to here at 5 years? You're paying it off. There's 20 more years you're paying that $4 off. You're paying off for a long time, almost like a generation, right? almost a lifetime for some people, longer than your lifetime so far. Okay, so the longer it takes to pay off, the less you pay per month, which is why people push it out that long.
Which is a really good thing to learn, because most people will be looking at buying a car in the next 5
Yep.
years. And they'll give you that 80-month payments,
Right.
and that's why they do it, to stretch that payment out longer. You end up paying more for the car.
You think you're getting a deal because it costs less per month, but you end up paying it over way more months. I'll tell you another story. You guys know what a student loan is? Okay? It's when you're in school, university, and you get a loan to go to school. So my last year, my dad said to me, hey, you should get a student loan because I'm tired of paying. So I said, okay, Dad, because I listen to my dad. So I went and got a student loan for, I think it was $3,000. Okay? Back then, people in the university, we referred to them as stereo loans because you got your loan and you bought a nice big fancy stereo. Because student loans are cheap. There's 0% interest. There's no charge to get them. The only catch is once you graduate university, you have to start paying them back. Usually a pretty low interest rate. So it's free money, which is why students get them. It's free money. Okay, so I got my student loan. I bought a car with my student loan in my stereo. I already have stereo. So I bought a car with it, and when I moved to Dauphin and got teaching here, I went down to the bank because I had to start paying it off. And the banker said to me, how about $50 a month payment? And I said to him, are you crazy? He's like, oh, was that too high? I'm like, no, it's not too high. It's way too low. He says, oh, you want it higher? Like he couldn't believe it. I said, well, yeah, how long is it going to take me to pay it off at $50 a month? So my little $3,000 loan that really back then was, even back then was nothing, I was going to take like 12 years to pay off at $50 a month. I'm like, no, make it $500 a month, and I was paid off in less than a year. Okay? Because I knew how it worked. Well, that's why we teach it in school, so you don't get ripped off. Because once you sign, okay, good point, Mr. Judge. The higher the interest rate as well, the more you pay each month. As you go down here, the interest rates, see, 4.25, that's 1851. This is only 1731. Interest rate, especially over a long term, can be huge. You want to, when you're looking for an interest rate, you want to get the smallest one you can. Okay, and balance that with a few other things. I'm not going to get too much into it, but the interest rate is important. Okay, look for a small one. Okay, here's an example. Find this one. Find this in your page there. Here's an example. You got it there? Okay. Now, last year when I taught this class, people messed this up lots. So pay close attention because people don't seem to understand very well. Okay, find this example. Is it there? It's not there? And not on the table, but in the notes thing that I gave you. Is it not there? It's got to be. Yeah, it's there.
Page
Right?
3,
Page 3?
or page 2, I'm not sure when you have up.
Yeah. It's Cheyenne and Chris. Find it? Peyton, no?
I didn't give it right. All right.
Okay. Cheyenne and Chris have a mortgage for $80,000 at 3%. They're paying over 25 years. How much per month do they pay? This is what we want to know. How much per month do they pay? Okay? What are the key numbers here? 80,000. 3%, 25 years. Okay, so the first step is to look up the number in the table. So we're going to take 25 years, and we're going to take 3%, and we're going to find out where they meet. Okay, Brandon, or Braden? We're going to find out where they meet. We're going to go right across here. Right, and we're going to go down, and we find out they meet at $4.73. Did I do that right? Right, Louie? Okay, so it's $4.73 for every 1,000. For every 1,000. Okay, so once we got that number, we got to figure out how many thousands we got. Well, the mortgage is how much? 80,000. We're going to divide by 1,000. Guess what I'm going to do again here, Mr. Stashkin? We're going to divide by 1,000. Why 1,000? Because it's per 1,000. We're going to get 80. I can do that in my head. 80,000 divided by 1,000. Lou, are you writing this down? Are you? Okay. Divided by 1,000. If only someone would say, is it always 1,000? Only someone would say, is it always 1,000, Mr. Bennett? 1,000, Mr. Bannock? That's a good question. It's always 1,000. You know you're going to remember that, Lou. You know why? Because I acted like a dope, didn't I? You can agree with that. It's always 1,000. Always.
You could have prevented that.
Yes, you could have. Only you can prevent dad jokes. It's 80. Okay, now we take our 80 and we multiply by the $4.73. Okay? This isn't hard, but people don't understand. They don't know how to do it, even though they've been taught it. 4.73. I get $378.40. $378.40. That's not bad. That's how much they have to pay every month for how many years? 25 years. And when they're all done, they will have paid off their $80,000 loan. And they will throw a big party. Maybe not. But they'll be happy because suddenly, what happens at the end of that 25 years? What happens with that $378.40? It's now yours to do whatever you want. What could you do with another $378.40 a month? Lots of things, right? It's nice to have that kind of money. Here's another couple. Justin and Aaron have a mortgage for $95,000. This time it's a higher rate, 4.25. They're also paying 25 years. How much per month do they pay? Circle 25 years. 25 years. 4.25%. Well, it's the very last one, 4.25%. Let's go all the way across. Let's go all the way down. $5.40. Okay? Next step. 95,000. Divide by 1,000. Remember that great question that someone asked? Always 1,000. The answer is going to be 95. What's the next step? What do? Multiply by that 540. 95 times $5.40. Cannot do this in my head. $513. How come these people have to pay more? There's a couple reasons. Why are they paying more? Well, number one, they have a higher interest rate. Number two, they have a bigger loan. Right? That's why they're paying more. Now again, in today's world, a $95,000 mortgage is not very much. It's not. Okay, you're going to try this one. I'm going to go do a test. You're going to try this one on your own. And then I'm going to show you the answer. Okay, try this one right here. Okay, 125,000, 2.75%. Oh, this one's 20 years. So we're going to circle there. 2.75, 0.75, 20 years, $5.41. Step one, take your 125,000, always divide by 1,000, that's 125. Take that times 541. 125 times 541. 600. This is starting to get bigger. 676.25. 676.25. Who got that? Couple. Okay. You got to be able to do that. Good work. I got one more question for you. It's not on there though. Okay. How much would you expect Amber and Melody to have paid over the entire time? How much was their loan for? 125. Would they be paying back 125, or would they be paying more? The answer is more. Remember, the banks charge you interest. How much more? The answer will surprise you. I'm sounding like I'm like the TV guy, right? After the break. How are we going to find out how much they pay? We're going to take 675.25. How many months in a year? How many months in a year? 12 is right. times 12, and how many years are they paying? 20. Go ahead and do that, and then be shocked. Oops. 676. Did you do it? 1, 6, 2, 300. How much was their loan, Lulai? 125. How much did they pay extra? I can't even do that in my head. 60 minus 25 is 35. 37,300, am I right? It cost them another $37,000 just to borrow 125. This is quite a scam the bank's got going on here, isn't it? Guys like Banker Steve here getting rich. He's not getting rich.
Oh, yes, he is.
Is he? Oh, is he doing well? Well, that's good news. Good news for Banker Steve. Right?
You've seen that thing about what Manitoba teachers average?
I don't think I have, but...
Yeah, you showed it to the kids in class.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
So you take that and then you add bonuses.
yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, there's no bonuses in this job.
So far, he hasn't missed a bonus.
Is that right? Good for him. Yeah. Banks make a lot of money. I was just heard on the radio the other day that even during the pandemic, banks are still making profits of billions of dollars. Okay? So, this is why you got to know what's going on, because when you go to the bank, you don't want to be taken advantage of. You want to get the best deal you can get for yourself. Okay? Now, think about if it wasn't 125,000, what if it was 250,000? Twice as much. Would they be paying twice as much here? It starts to add up really, 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 really fast. Okay? So that's why we want people to learn about this. Okay, Mr. Stashko, the handout is there. The assignment. Did I add the 25 years? I did not, did I?
Did not.
Okay.
You left it in the meantime.
Okay. So on the assignment that Mr. Stashko was handing out, I forgot to put how long, because teachers make mistakes. So let's just say every single one is 25 years. Every single mortgage is 25 years. Is there one for Peyton or no?
My Rob does it.
Okay. Every single one is for 25 years. Okay, Caden, you might have a little trouble there with the down payment, but we'll help you with that, and Braden too. Okay, if you guys can get that to me in this period, that'd be wonderful. I'm also posting an assignment to teams as well. You also may have noticed that I put the last stats